Und ich sage Hallo und ein ganz, ganz herzliches Willkommen zurück zu einem neuen Part The Longest Journey. Ja, ich stand hier vor diesem Computer, der mir ein Sprachmodul anquatschen wollte letztes Mal, obwohl er mich ja verstanden hat, ne? Und ja, ich wollte mich jetzt hier noch ein bisschen umgucken tatsächlich. Ich schaue mir jetzt hier mal die Pflanze noch an und naja, was halt sonst so vorhanden ist. Na, ich kann in der Blume wühlen. Ach, was habe ich denn da jetzt? Organic Plastic, okay. Diary. Ach,
I've
ja.
been keeping a diary intermittently since I was 5 years old. Not the same one, of course. I started this one, I think, April of this year.
Ja, das ist ja cool.
It's my diary.
Ja, kann ich das hier... Ich kann das aber nicht irgendwie... Was...
Hey, it's my timesheet from the cafe. I completely forgot I put it in here. Good thing I found it, because I'm broke.
Ah, da, wann ich arbeiten muss wahrscheinlich, ne?
It's my diary.
Dann das Bild kann ich mir noch
It's a
angucken.
picture of Charlie, Emma, and me in Florence Park. Marcus took it about a month ago before it got real hot.
Okay. Ach, ich möchte mich an dieser Stelle, ich habe das gemerkt, ne, beim Bearbeiten der vorherigen Teile ist mir das aufgefallen, dass der Ton teilweise sehr schlecht ist. Kommt auch bei mir sehr schlecht an. Also der Ton, wenn die was sagen, klingt etwas, ja, kratzig und alt. Das liegt wahrscheinlich an dem Spiel. Da kann ich leider nichts, ich habe jetzt nochmal geguckt, aber konnte ich leider
It's a
nichts
list of the
umstellen.
hours I worked this past week at the cafe.
Ach so, wie ich letzten Monat gearbeitet habe. Da ist nichts drauf. Was ist hier damit? Haha.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Hands up! Spread your legs! And do the monkey!
Mildly amusing, but irritating as hell. I think I'll shut him up now.
Das ist ja lustig. Okay, alles klar. Gut, dann kann ich hier wieder raus. Da war ich. Möchte ich da noch was machen?
Nuh-uh. I'm not knocking on that door unless it's absolutely necessary.
Okay.
And frankly, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Alles klar. Gut, dann gehe ich jetzt mal weiter. Runter kann ich gehen. Downstairs. Dann mache ich das. Ach so, kann ich das Bild noch angucken? Na, ist egal. Ne? Ich gehe jetzt erstmal runter, oder? Warte. Nee, hier ist mein Apartment. Damit war ich. Was ist das denn hier? Charlies Apartment. Ach, guck mal. Da wohnt noch jemand. Vielleicht kann ich da klopfen. Einfach mal Hallo sagen. Hallo.
Nobody home.
Na gut. Dann gehe ich jetzt runter. Oder habe ich was vergessen? Ich weiß es ja nicht. So, wer ist das denn? Fiona. Guck mal, die guckt hier cooles Fernsehen. Guck mal, die hatten hier schon Breitbild, Flachbild-Fernsehen hier. Dings.
Morning, Fiona.
Good morning, darling. You're up early.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep.
Are you feeling all right? You look a little pale.
I had a bad nightmare oder I just have a lot of work to do oder I'm fine. Ich sag ihr ruhig, I had a bad
I
nightmare.
had a bad nightmare.
Again? Well, you're not the only one, darling. Mickey woke me up screaming in the middle of the night. She wouldn't go back to sleep until I made her a cup of herbal tea.
Nightmares?
Apparently. But she refuses to tell me what they were. I think she's embarrassed.
That doesn't sound like Mickey.
I know, darling. Don't tell her I said so, but I've never seen her so agitated in my life. She scared the hell out of me.
I don't know why I have nightmares. I guess they could be stress-related. After all, the exhibition's right around the corner.
Oh, yes, the school exhibition. How's that going?
God, don't ask. I have no idea how I'm going to finish my painting on time. I haven't felt inspired in ages.
I think you work too hard, darling. You need to relax once in a while. Live. Enjoy your youth. There's inspiration to be found in hedonism, you know.
No, I don't know, but apparently you do.
I'm an authority on the subject, darling. Ask Mickey. She'll tell you I don't lift a finger around the place unless I absolutely have to.
Ja, das kenne ich. Das mache ich auch immer so. Shouldn't you be outside enjoying the good weather? Oder where's everybody this morning? Oder can I ask you a few questions? Ich frage jetzt mal, wo ist denn jeder heute Morgen?
Where's everybody this morning?
Mickey's tied up in the basement. Mind you, she's not literally tied up, of course, although that is a tempting thought.
Are you getting into your sexual fantasies here, Fiona? Because it's a little too early in the morning for that, don't you think?
Sorry, I just can't help myself. Anyway, the plumbing is... You probably noticed when you took a shower, yeah? There's no hot water. So Mickey's working on that. Getting knee-deep in putrid canal water is her job, thank God.
What about Charlie? He up yet?
No, he's still sleeping, and Emma just went to bed. I saw her come in when I was making breakfast. Do you know who she's seeing now?
I don't know. Some guy?
Those lads I see her with, darling. She's too good for those arseholes. I wish she'd find herself a man who'd treat her right for once.
She hasn't had much luck with love, no?
She's a magnet for creeps, and she's so pretty. They prey on her, you know, bastards.
I've tried to talk to her about it, but Emma's impulsive. She doesn't listen.
She's just as headstrong as you and me, darling, but I'm sure she'll be all right. She's smart and resourceful, and not afraid to speak up for herself.
Ich bin gespannt, ob ich die dann noch kennenlerne. Ich kann mich da nicht mehr dran erinnern. Ich frage jetzt mal, solltest du nicht bei dem schönen Wetter draußen
Shouldn't
sein?
you be outside enjoying the good weather?
You joking? Bollocks to that. I'll stay inside until September, thank you very much. It's too bloody hot.
Ach, naja, ein bisschen an die frische Luft kann man trotzdem. Can I ask you some... Was versucht die da aufzustehen? Okay. A few questions, nicht some.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Why, certainly, darling. About what?
Tell me about Emma. What do you think of me when we first met? How long have you known Charlie? What's up with Thackley? Tell me a little bit... Ah, da sind jetzt ganz viele Gespräche. Okay, Fiona, dann erzähl mir doch mal was über Emma.
Tell me about Emma.
Emma? Why, she's your best friend, darling. I don't know what to tell you that you don't already know. You girls are so close.
That's true. The day we met, we clicked instantly. It was strange, but cool.
Like me and Mickey then, except for the sex, of course.
That's a pretty big except for, Fiona.
Oh, I guess so. She's the crazy one, Emma is. Not crazy as in mad as a hatter, but crazy in a good way. Fun to be around.
Emma's always been a little weird.
Exactly, darling. She's a flirt, too, and the boys seem to drop like flies at her feet. No wonder. She's a real looker, I don't have to tell you. I'm sure she could have been a model if she'd wanted, but she's an artist, and a good one, too. I really think she'll be a successful artist. Her sculptures are getting a lot of attention.
Okay, bin ich ja mal gespannt. Vielleicht kriegt man davon ja mal noch mal eine zu sehen. Anything else you can tell me about Emma?
Anything else you can tell me about Emma?
She ought to be a little more careful sometimes. She's a flirt, and although she doesn't mean any harm, some lads don't take too well to being teased and rejected. You should tell her that, though, being her best friend and all.
I have told her. She won't listen.
No. She does worry me a little, but she's a big girl and she can take care of herself. I'm certainly happy to have her living here. Next to you and Charlie, she's my favourite tenant.
Na, das ist ja prima. Gut. What do you think of me when we first met?
What did you think of me when we first met?
That's a peculiar question, isn't it? I thought you were quite lovely. I still do, darling.
Do you remember the day I arrived?
Of course, darling. It wasn't that long ago, and I'm not senile quite yet. It was in May, wasn't it? Charlie referred you to me when you were quite at a loss. First day in the city, wasn't it? I remember. You looked like a lost puppy.
Oh.
Puppy? Me?
When I saw you lugging that suitcase across the bridge, my heart went out to you. I'm glad you came here. You could have been lost anywhere else.
Ja, aber das ist ja prima. Da habe ich doch die richtige Vermieterin gefunden hier. How long have you known Charlie?
How long have you known Charlie?
Oh, he's one of our oldest tenants. It's close to 3 years, I believe, since he moved in. Charlie is always in a good mood and he's such a gentleman.
I agree. He's an actual genuine gentleman.
And you don't see a lot of gentlemen these days, trust me. You have a very good friend in him, darling. Perhaps even more than a friend.
What do you mean, more than a friend?
Not for me to say, darling. If you don't realize it yet, you will.
Okay, anscheinend will der was von mir, ne? Sieht so aus. Okay, dann frage ich jetzt mal nach dem Zack. Den kann ich ja nicht leiden.
What's up with Zach Lee?
Zach? I think we both feel the same way about him, darling. He's not actually a bastard. If he was, I'd have had him out of here in an instant. But he is an arse, and a stuck-up, pompous, arrogant wanker.
My thoughts exactly. Aside from that wanker bit.
Still, he pays his rent on time and he doesn't make a lot of noise. He keeps to himself. And most importantly, he's shit scared of me, so I can't just kick him out.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, ne? Das ist vielleicht auch noch ganz gut.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Fiona.
Me? Why? It's not much to say, darling. I love my job, I love Venice, and I love being with Mickey. I'm a happy girl. Sure, sometimes I wish I could go back to England to see my family, but that's water under the bridge, so to speak. I'm very happy with myself and my life here in Newport.
Na, wie lange ist sie denn mit dem Mickey schon zusammen?
How long have you and Mickey been together?
Mickey and I have been together since I was 19. She was in her late 30s then. The older, wiser, worldly woman. I found her sweet and charming and intriguing. When I finally realized she was neither of those things, it was too late. I was in love. She stole me away from my dreary British inner-city life, and she brought me here. She was no knight in shining armour, that's for sure, but she knew how to treat me like a woman.
You guys make a great couple.
You think so, darling? Yes, I guess we do. And the sex is amazing.
You never get tired of talking about your sex life, do you?
Never. And if I ever do, please shoot me.
Ich denke mal bei Mickey, das ist ein Kerl, ne? Na gut, dann frage ich mal. Can you tell me something about the border house?
Can you tell me something about the border house?
That's one of my favourite topics, darling. What precisely do you want to know?
What made you decide to run a boarding house?
That's a long story. One of the reasons Mickey and I got together was that we shared a passion for the classic English country inns. You know, quaint, weathered buildings, funny old ladies, and oddly suggestive names like the Lazy Cock.
So why come here to the big city? To America?
We wanted to create a place with a similar atmosphere and hospitality here in Newport. Like a safe house for people like you and I to call home, if only for a short while. So we discussed different options for a few months, and then we decided we wanted to start a boarding house for young, penniless students and artists.
You decided you wanted to do that here in Venice?
We knew that Venice was the place for us long before we came here, but the hard part was finding a building cheap enough.
And this building was available?
Not at first. Like most of the buildings in Venice, this one used to be a factory, but when we first looked at it, a local company was planning to turn it into a bar and nightclub. It was so perfect for our purposes, though, that we appealed to the Venice Borough Council, and after outlining our plans, they gave us the go-ahead at a reduced price, provided we kept our promises regarding our tenants.
Okay, was hat dich denn zu dem Namen Border House inspiriert?
What inspired the name Border House?
That came quite naturally when we saw the place. It's on the border between two worlds, isn't it? Between Venice and the city itself.
Ah, okay.
And at the same time, I also believe we're on the border between two more abstract worlds. Between art and spirit on the one hand, and science and technology on the other.
That's very poetic, Fiona.
Yes, I've practiced. I may be an inner-city girl, but I can philosophize and bullshit with the best of them.
Also was ich mal sagen muss, ich finde es echt sehr faszinierend, erst weil dass es hier eine lesbische Beziehung gibt in dem Spiel, da konnte ich mich gar nicht mehr dran erinnern. Das war ja nun zu dem Zeitpunkt 1999, das ist ja nun schon ein bisschen her, war das schon ungewöhnlich. Also das muss ich schon ganz klar sagen, das gefällt mir schon sehr. Ich frage jetzt einfach mal weiter. Do you and Mickey own the place together?
Do you and Mickey own the place together?
We own it together, yes, and we've shared the responsibilities between us. Mickey takes care of the maintenance of the building, and I busy myself with the administrative tasks. I also take care of the day-to-day management of our tenants, like deciding whether or not to let someone rent a room. And, of course, the unpleasant business of booting someone out.
I thought you enjoyed that part.
Yes, all right. In some cases I do, but not always. It can get quite messy.
Thanks for the information.
I'm glad I could help you out, darling.
So, jetzt, ach, hier ist jetzt noch so viel. Ich würde sagen, ich mache jetzt an dieser Stelle einfach mal einen Cut und dann führe ich die Unterhaltung dann im nächsten Part erst fort. Ich danke dir an dieser Stelle jetzt sehr fürs Dabeisein und fürs Begleiten. Und ja, ich würde mich freuen, wenn wir uns auch nächstes Mal dann wiedersehen. Und ja, bis dahin wünsche ich dir eine schöne Zeit und sag ciao, ciao.